It's just like it don't want to stop. Oh, my goodness. Well, anybody want to get them confess? I'm clean now. Okay, what about last week then? You were clean this week. What about last week? Y'all let some more time come in there. You'll mess up. You'll have them out there. Ain't all right. Just make sure you're honest. Mike, when last time you messed up this morning? Mike, I know you ready. You eat too much, Mike. Ain't nowhere in the world Mike ain't. Y'all believe Mike ain't made no mistake. Much he eat. That man a regular pork eater. I know that pork let your bowels go. Mike, if you had to tell, just if you had to tell, well, how long would you say it been since a meat steak? Thursday? I know that don't sound right. How many of y'all believe it's been a year since Mike made a mistake? How many of y'all done seen Mike eat? And you think he done went a whole year? You tell me you ain't had one little turtle here, one little in a year. Y'all believe that? I ain't believing it. Mike, let them know when you're ready to confess. We got the oil right over here. Yeah, come on here and see me, and you be brand new. They come. Mike, that's good though if you don't win a whole year, which I don't believe it, but that's good if you have. Ooh, it's rough out here. So if I just turn around and walk off, just mind your business. I'm just going in peace. Y'all don't like to think about y'all pastor using the bathroom? No. I take my picture of my shoe when I'm doing it so you have something to look at. When I came from Mexico, I dropped some Mexicans off. And I had to let them go. You can't eat all that stuff and take it with you. You gotta send it right back where it come from, isn't that right? Then again, Mexican, you can't hold on to that stuff for so long, though. I'm telling you, all the ones that stink over him, the ones that take bath, I don't know what happened. They gave them a real bad image, though. They give a bad image about Mexicans in Mexico? No, it ain't like that. Don't believe them people. It ain't like that. The one that be stinking, these folks, they from somewhere else. Yeah. They're not from Mexico. No, Mexico don't do that. See that? They don't let you smoke crack. They don't let you talk bad to your parents. I told that man, Jahi, I had another guy. We were finna go scuba diving. Well, now, where we going? Snorkeling. And the guy gave me the goggles to put on. I said, oh. He said, what's wrong? I said, my jaw hurt. My son hit me in my jaw. He looked at me like I pointed at Jahi. He said, how much? I said, I love Mexico. That man was pissed. I said, I can't pull. I said, my jaw hurt. I told my son hit me in my jaw. I pointed at Jahi. That guy was pissed. He was looking like, he hit you in your son hit you in your jaw? He like, how much? I like, boy, if I had my wallet. I told you I wasn't gonna let him kill him. He got a couple of shots off. I was like, hold on, stop now. We going too far. That's a joke. 3 or 4 shots enough. Yeah, you don't want to like excessive. Yeah. But other than that, but I was like, y'all seen that video on that other guy? Got on Jahi. I told Jahi put a hand in my face. Oh, I love that guy. I love Mexico. I just love Mexico. It just makes sense. He said the cops come on and beat the crap out of him. It don't matter. Oh, I love Mexico. Oh man, I love Jahi. I had to take Jahi back. I gotta make up some more stuff on him. I said, yeah, and my son smoked crack. He said, what the hell wrong with smoke? I'm loving Mexico. He let him have it too. He said, you could have cut that off. I said, would you have cut off it had been me? Yeah. I like to think I would. I said, shut up. No, you wouldn't. I'm gonna cut this man off. This man trying to correct you and help you be better. Ain't that right? You think I got joy out of that? Yes. But it was to help you. All right, we're going to get ready. I'm still playing in that bathroom. I think I'm going to be all right. We'll see. Literally. All right, let's go. We appreciate that. Appreciate Mr. Yahuah. Trying to talk with y'all a little bit here. We're going to come and see Layla. Well, Wednesday, Rabbi E. We was talking, We talk about Azza, aid. That's his name, man. I think help. Is it help as well? Help, aid. That is certainly did. Let's see. You turn the air down some. I hear it blowing pretty good. Put that. Too cold now. Put it on. I don't blame some stuff. She looking around like, why do you line help us that? I saw her. She said, why do you help us? Ain't that right? Well, I ain't gonna call that grandmama no helper. You know, grandmama gotta make you feel good. You know, grandmama get a little kid, ain't got no leg. Baby, you just as fast as them other kids. Grandmama tell you anything, make you feel bad. You can't, if your grandma tell you stuff like that, don't go race nobody else. That's trying to just get you by. They want you to get by, ain't that right? Got her both your arms cut off. Baby, you just keep your hand. This is up to the Lord. You're like, I just totally cut off. Grandmama she just got that love for you like that. And they just don't want to tell you, yeah, you just slow. You know, you ain't no good. You ain't got no talent. Kind of grandmama tell their kid that. Has anybody grandmama ever told them stuff like that? They worthless. I had a friend, his grandma used to try to kill him. She had a butcher knife one time. He had to come to my house. He rolled down here, bite. I had to come outside that way where he like to come on another friend. He would laugh. I said, well, he said, man, grandma was trying to kill him with a knife. Like, well, you ain't been stab him for so long, you had to go back. Take that cut. I like, when your grandmama tried to stab you, we was in elementary. Matter of fact, we was in the 5th grade. And his grandmama tried to kill him with a knife. He had to come hang out down there for a little while. Then he went back. And then somebody in his family came up dead a year later. Yeah, he was the one time, he didn't take no stuff either. We go to the office, we get in trouble, and people tell the principal, ask us, call your parent or get a paddling. He said, you can call my blanket dad. He said, that's enough, Charles. He said, I don't give a blank. He said, Charles, that's enough. He ain't stopping at that point. He crunk, and his daddy get there, he letting his daddy have it too. They going out the door. I look at that principal like, you need to do your job. These people pay you to come here and make sure these kids are paddle. I'm in your office to do your job. Now, I will report you. Because you're not telling my parents. I don't know what he think about this. To me, this was like a lack of what is when you don't do your job? Failure to do your job. Because you want to call my parent. They don't send me to school for you to call them. Y'all ain't supposed to have that all that emergency phone number. Ain't no emergency we gonna have. You need to call my mom and dad for what? And when I did, I always how many of y'all had to put y'all emergency number? You always use your mama phone number.
Oh yeah.
Anybody that had to do that? Who number you to put down, Lancaster? Who?
Oh.
Mom, that's right. I ain't even want to know my daddy's phone number. I had no reason to call my dad. If anything burned down with it, just put it out and bill it back before you get home. Don't call him. When that man go to work, that man don't go to work, he have no phone. How many of y'all like that? If y'all daddy, how many of y'all dad ever got a phone call at school about you? How that work out?
Good.
Yeah, your dad don't call. They already know. They don't call them. They already know. Somebody done found my phone number. So now you're in trouble like, nope. What if my Uncle Teddy to call Mr. Billy and told him that you were cutting up at school?
We didn't have telephone.
That's right. Or they had a carrier pigeon, had it flew out with it. But you know how, what would have happened if they told your daddy had to come to that school? That's right, man. Yeah, them days now, they ain't nothing. They go to school, they sitting there, both of them get suspended. They ain't done changed that. I mean, time done changed now. So, kid, y'all there's a whole better life, and that's all that talking and sit down and, like, punishment, like, go read a book. What Henry Gray to give you, you don't want to look at no book. You need to sit somewhere, you need to try to soak and get your life back together. Who want to read a book? That man told me, go in your room, read a book. I'm like, is this a candy camp? Surely videoing it is not for real. But that's just how life done changed, though. Y'all look at it now, y'all don't laugh about them now because you look at you still in that stage where you kind of give them and getting the correction. Later on, when you get older, you'll learn to appreciate stuff like that. It is. I used to listen to my dad and my mom. They tell me, like, listen to one like that. So they ain't here laughing back in a whooping. Like, that's crazy. But when you get older, you think back over things and look at, wow, decisions you made, stuff you felt like the end of the world, you hated them for it. Then when you get grown and you get out here and you watch how many of your friends gonna come up dead. A lot of y'all need to get this in your mind. A lot of y'all little friends gonna come up dead. A lot of y'all little friends gonna come up on drugs. Don't let it be you. But I'm telling you that somebody else telling some other kids that too, and you friends with them. You can turn around and be that very kid. Y'all got opportunity to make a real good decision and don't screw your life out. Screw your life up out here. Don't come up one of these kids, one of these stories you see on the news, kid come, kid gone, kid dead, end of it. Y'all seen that little Mexican kid got kidnapped 8 years ago? How many of y'all didn't see it? They just found him. Y'all know where he was the whole time? At home. His mother called him in missing, and she kept him right there with her. She been molesting him for 8 years. She molested him for 8 years. Told him he the daddy now, he the man. Told him he went out there and the police caught him, he was going to jail. 8 years he been tortured, being raped by his own mother. This is the kind of sick world we got. I know y'all kids, y'all lust after the life out here. You want to go out here. Everybody not stable. I'm not saying everybody out in the world will do it to you. It's just a matter of there's a certain level. Everybody needs a line you don't cross. You know what I'm saying? There needs to be a line in your life you don't cross, even as a child. It don't have to do with being saved. It has something to do with just certain things about you. I was talking about last night on the show, and it's important for people to know. I think where a lot of people failed at is when we were coming along, they taught you key component things. Respect others and their things. I never understood that when they tell you that. That's someone that'll tell you certain things. Somebody raise their hand or somebody tell, hypothetically, Yahuah put his foot on me. They will immediately get him and tell him, your foot goes on the ground. Your foot, no. These are things they come. Y'all remember stuff they would tell you that? You put your hand, say hit me, they'll get you. Keep your hands. They keep real because you start trying to set parameters for why they're kids. You teach them when other people, somebody grabs somebody else's stuff, give it back. It's not yours. Don't touch other people's stuff. Stay out of other people. All these things, you start trying to teach them parameters while you're young. So as you get older, you start to understand. It keeps a lot of hostility down. Because when you put your hand on the wrong person, that's going to be the last time you're going to do it. Right. When you put your foot on the wrong person, you're going to lose your leg. Right. When you pick up something that don't belong to you, to belong to somebody else, somebody's going to kill you. So what seems simple, I know parents might not think, you need to go back over there with your kids to teach them so when they get older, they understand the premise from a child. Even when I write and tell her that Timothy and that from, what was it? Yeah. You said when he got 21? Yeah. What did he know? Which were able to do what? Unto what? Let me say this. I know it's a lot of stuff y'all want to do. Put them in summer camps. Put them and let them do a whole lot of things. This is what we need to work on. This from the adults as well. They need to understand these basic fundamental tools he gave them because it worked to him for his salvation. And if we don't go back over and constantly keep rehearsing them, just like the writings, you're going to find yourself in a lot of bad situations. So there are things we all need to learn and we need to assure ourselves on respecting things of others, keeping your hands to yourself, having some barriers so you learn what to stay away from and what you involve yourself with. If you don't, you're going to find yourself in a lot of hurts in life. Y'all got it?
Sure.
Well, I don't know. It ain't for everybody, just for those that want to do it, I guess. So let's look at this when we try to roll along. Listen, this is Romans 15 and 4 for those watching in. Those, again, we're using Yahuah Mashiach is the program we're using today. I can't say we'll be using it tomorrow, but today, that's what we're using. Let's see. Listen, it's color-coded, too, for those watching in, so you can see where, so you know your son the same height he was this Wednesday? Sir, come put a check up on him. I didn't find out. You just got a check, didn't you? Two. Let's go. Anybody else in your family got one?
He deserved it.
Put another check up here for ratting your dad out. He did too. He came out there and tried to tell me. What it was you trying to tell me, like cousin?
I don't remember the situation.
It was something. Who remember what it was down here? What like cousin tried to tell me? What was it? It was something you had to do something. People don't get in there. When you get your name on right track mode on that wall of shame, about what is it?
The high school stuff.
It had to be, yeah. What school that was? Benjamin E. Mays? What year you said was when that Chris when was Benjamin E. Mays built? You remember when it was?
I want to say 81, 82, something like that.
Well, whatever was written. Come on. It was something else he said. Yeah, that's what I was thinking, around about 80, 81.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking, somewhere like that. Come on. I thought that school was older than that.
It was original Southwest High School, Southwest
No.
Line, and then they built the new school, Benjamin E. Mays. And
Southwest was different.
no, it was Southwest High School.
Southwest High School was over off Boulevard. That the school was built into an S. You remember that was made into an S mountain? South
That was
side.
South
Another
Side,
thing is South
yeah.
side.
That was South Side.
So Mays was Southwest High School?
Yes, sir.
It was a middle school.
After they built the new school,
Hold on, bro. What happened?
when they built Benjamin E. Mays, they turned Southwest to a middle school.
Look at Malcolm looking. Malcolm look pissed. I'm with you, Malcolm. What you tired of, Malcolm? Who getting it wrong over him?
I'm not sure.
Malcolm, remind me, did you have a check over in Mexico? Did you put it up here? It's time now, nigga. I just, folks time be forgetting them checks. A lot of folks. Joanna, did you put your check that time you put Joanna? Did you put your check up here? Yeah, I thought you went. Let's get that check too. Yeah, it just make me feel better. I have all them checks in my mind. I need to get them out. Remember who all the old checks? Who are my old checks to? So this is Romans 15:4. So y'all started struggling. Like, I didn't know you turned violent, Malcolm. Oh, he cool. Listen, for whatever.
Need Qatar
Who else
before.
want to have a check? Dwayne, come on, Dwayne. You got a check. Come on. Ladies call you high. I call you come put that check up here. Where you bought that shirt from? That didn't come from Ghana. Where you bought that one from? Amazon. I remember saying that in Ghana. I ain't said I liked it. I said I remember saying it. So, did you like that shirt? You like it? Well, I give him a pass, man. It ain't ugly like the white was. The white was pretty ugly. When he told the preacher want that shirt, I said, no, I don't. It's ugly. But I can see where he going with it. If I seen a dumpster right in front of it. Now you something you like. You see, like I can see where. How many y'all like that shirt? Let me see you. One.
No, they're not getting a check.
All y'all got checks. Oh, it done fell on me. We seen it. Every one of them paint color. We seen them. No. That man's sick. All right, listen. For whatever was.
Need Qatar before.
And it's important for us to look at why we use this for our foundation. Again, I always try to look at it as constructing. You need to make sure your footing set as far as you're grounded. Just like electricity, loose is dangerous. If it's grounded, it can be beneficial. So it show you how things work. I mean, electricity is good, but when it's loose, live wire, who grabs it? We need to get it where it's covered, where it can be protected, so it can be more useful. This is what I want to think about with us. We're pretty much like live wires in a sense.
Right.
Unless you got the proper conductor covering over us and we got the proper restrictions and things are done, I mean, this one we could be beneficial. Us left to ourselves, our own devices, dangerous.
That's right. That's right.
Dangerous, very, very dangerous. But we can see the benefit when it's properly constructed, when things are put together. And that's our goal, is trying to understand the ideal of why we're here, what we're supposed to do. Because in life, there's so many things that you can get yourself involved with, from working to so many other things. I mean, it's just almost, astronomical, the different things you can get yourself involved with. And people do, from drug use, although they'll see how many people wind up being successful from drug use. None. Yeah. It's like every day somebody want to try it. They'll have an uncle, an aunt, friend, parent die from it, and all of a sudden they want to break the mold and they're going to try crack. Or now, crystal meth or something, they bring out something new so people feel like it's safe. Because the same old story going to be told about crack. And you just learn it's the same thing, they just change the name of it. Mm-hmm. It all alters the way you operate. And that's the goal, to get you not to operate the way the man constructed you. And our goal is to make sure that we're operating according to compliance. Y'all got it. He's laid down a rule. He got legislation for how men are to conduct themselves and how men are to live. And our goal is to make sure that's how we operate. Now, you have to make choices when you're here. And I appreciate the fact I'm not made to do this. I wasn't made, no spirit handcuffed me, guide me, convicted me, to drag me to come here. All that happened to me some time ago was my life, presently how it was, and seeing the end of it. making some observations and consideration of what did I want to do to alter that. Because the way I was going was a steady end to death. It was imminent death, or I was going to prison a long time. And my only alternative was life, which was him. And I had to make a decision. And that decision I made wasn't a decision I had done like every other time in my life till I made it. I broke my word. I got back out of it. I wait for the next situation to come, then I'll do it again. I wait for the next situation to come, I do it again. I wait on the next situation, I do it again. This became heavy on me. This became so heavy on me. It still weighs on me today. Not the initial feeling I had when I came, but I'm committed to what I said I was going to do for the fact of I had said it so many times before and never stayed with it. And, you know, getting to the point of where I was, because I always looked at I was smart. And being smart, I could get out of anything. I can maneuver my way out of anything. I could con my way out of anything. I could work my way out of anything. I looked at other people making careless, stupid mistakes. And when I saw I made a careless, stupid mistake, you know, I realized I wasn't as smart as I thought I was. You know, there's some stuff I missed it, and I missed it because I was just smart like that, and I was just clever like that, and I just got away from it. You don't realize you're not. It's just time and chance. It's just time and chance. And I say that, I know my young people watching in, and young people as well as in here. A lot of things you guys going to open yourself up to, and you're going to have to learn. It don't matter what I tell you. It don't matter what you hear. Y'all young people, you'll remember what I told you, though. You'll get caught. You'll get caught. We all do. It's life. It's life. You know, I expressed this last night. The thing about life, you have to learn how to live it. It's certain things. It's just like a wave. You can fight it, and it can take you out, or you can learn how to ride the wave. That's the difference between a swimmer and somebody just out striker. They'll panic. Some people learn how to use the wave. Don't fight it. Learn how to use it to your advantage. That's what you do with life. Life will take you out. And it does it. And this is something it does every day. Every day life take people out because they don't learn how to ride with the wave. And riding with the wave for me is making sure I'm trying to stay in sequence with him. I can't read every person's mind everywhere you go. I don't know what a person thought is that's riding beside me. I mean, people riding down the street saying, I'll just kill myself right now. And it's like, how would you do that? Because you're going to affect a lot of other people, but they're so, you know, initial drive taking themselves out. Nobody else's matter. And these are the type of people that you young people and other people don't really, this is what you're around every day. You're around people that may care. It's people that walk across a bridge, decide I'm going to jump. Do they think about when I jump, I'm going to land on somebody's car who's going to panic, or in front of somebody's car who's going to swerve and kill somebody who got a baby? No, I'm just worried about me. So other people don't matter. My hurt, my selfishness don't allow me to think and consider other people or the detriment I'll cause them, because I'm so caught up in myself. We live in a whole world like that. And until you come into the real knowledge of self and him, you'll be one of those people you don't realize it. Because anytime we don't make the decision to do what he told us to do, that's a destructive decision. You'll be destructive to everybody around you. So it's so important for you to really consider that all of us are attached to one another. So things we do affect other people. It's like we like Siamese twins. How can one go somewhere and the other one don't go? Huh? I mean, you just joint connected. You know what I'm saying? You share some of the same feelings, some of the same, although you're two different heads, you almost have to think alike. You know what I'm saying? If it's not something you think, we need to come together on, because we two people that's connected is one. So there's nothing I can do that's without you. There's nothing you can do that don't involve me. So we have to start thinking like that, and you'll find that people become less destructive to themselves and to other people. But when you can be your own person, got your own mind, I see things my way, I see things differently than everybody else see it, that can be dangerous because it can lead you on a bad path. So now we got an opportunity to set back, go back over this, look at our foundation, where we start at. It makes a difference. Where you start makes a difference on where you're going. I start off as a kid, bank robbing. What I'm going to do? Who see my career? College, graduate, degree. What you see me? CEO of a company. What you see me? Major in the military.
Professional criminal.
Dead or in prison. That's the only path. Because look at where you started. So it's so important to go back and look at how we start things. We have to, let's go back and let's start it back over. Because at the end of the day, nothing else is more important than getting it right. We all have the thing of, nobody want to be shamed, nobody want to be embarrassed. Nobody want to go to Sheol, if you be honest.
That's right.
That's more important to me than being ashamed of being embarrassed. Nobody want to be embarrassed. You're not supposed to want to be embarrassed. Who want to be? I don't mind being embarrassed. You just talk to a mental retard. You should matter. It should matter. It should matter. So then, because of that shame, it should drive you to looking at things to do to not put yourself into a course of being shamed. That's the whole purpose of it. But that was the whole purpose of Yahuah shaming us, to put us in a situation. Look at, this is not a position you want to be in. You want to be in a position where I'm showering you with things. When people see you, they can see the benefits of my working. People don't have to see my wrath poured out on you. People don't have to see my indignation on you. But for whatever the cause is, all of us are picked for different criteria or different objectives that he might have. Because people that's going to be drawn are going to be drawn through hearing the word or seeing one of you guys in here or on the other side of the camera. So some of them might see your destruction. Some of them might see your elevation. That's how it works. That's why he's a man I look at, the more I understand about him, I learn about him, the more I look at, wow, it's a lot more to him than what you think. It's a lot more pre-planning than what you might configure, what you configured or what you thought. Nothing just happened. Somebody just coming through you. It never threw him. He knew what they were going to do before it happened. You know what I'm saying? Nothing's going to throw him. Everybody's doing exactly what they're supposed to do. See, those that going to hear the word he told you, even Yahushua told, he said the time was going to come when those were in the Kubah. He said they were going to hear his call, his sound. He said they were going to come. He said the time was going to come, it's going to happen. So they're not going to throw him when it happens. I'm already expecting it. When he got up and the others got up from the Kubah, from the grave, it didn't throw him. He already knew it was going to happen. So it's so important for us to look at what has he already designated to happen so you can make a decision on what are you trying to do. If he's already decided that, listen, that those that are going to be Sadat, just, he said they're going to live by Amanah.
Mm-hmm.
The Rosha, he's going to come and he's going to pour out his indignation on them. Everybody wrong, he's going to destroy them. He's going to burn them with unquenchable fire. So what choice do you have? If you're not a doer, then you know what to see. You know what his restitution is. If I'm a doer, then I know what I look to receive from it. So that allows me to look at maintain lane. That's what we're trying to get ourselves to understanding. What is it that he's expecting of us? What is it that we need to project? And how do we do it and be proficient at what we're doing and be effective and we stay the course? I'm a believer of this. You ain't going to be able to do it till you get some debt.
That's right.
You're just not going to be able to do it till you get some debt. All the young kids, I like to keep every one of y'all. I know I'm not going to be able to keep you. This is not possible because you don't feel like you have no debt. You're going to go and you're going to have to find out the hard way. I was talking to somebody earlier about that. People want to keep, all of us want to keep, I want to keep my daughter spotless, clean, everybody. It's not going to happen. People ain't going to serve them right till you get some debt.
That's right.
Like I said, you got to get somebody hold something over your head.
Yep.
I'm just being honest. Don't listen. I know sometimes, like, how many of y'all want your past to be gone? And you ain't gonna believe it. You're not gonna believe it. And what you gonna do when your past get gone? Create another one?
Yeah.
It because of the debt. It because of all the infractions while we in. I can't afford no more. When you fail miserably, how many times? It's like, why? It's like, why? You can only go through certain emotions so many times. You heard it sometimes you'll get women in a relationship with a man and she'll cry. When they get down time breaking out, he said, what's wrong? You ain't crying. She said, I'm all cried out.
Yep.
I put every emotion I could put in it. I just don't have it. And now you start looking at when you crash so many times, you just ain't got the energy. You just ain't got this. You just can't do it no more because you've done it. And you run to get away from it. Let me run and get away from it so I can be new, so it can be so far behind me. This can be so old, and then you get so old so you can create something new. So you need debt. That's why I'm here. I got enough debt. I got enough debt to pass around in the room and I still be in debt. I'm not talking about financial debt. I'm talking about living debt. That's kind of what keeps me going. I won't ever be able to forget how much debt I got. I'll never forget the type of person it don't matter if it's 20-some years. I've done that much stuff. I can't forget it. It's just so many things I can't even fathom in my mind. I just can't even fathom doing it because it's like, you got so much stuff. It's like, can you really afford that? Can you really do that and be good? Can you do that and start? Like, I started over so many times. All I did was just tell myself something. I say, this time, I'm finna be real serious. You know, I just kept saying, listen, I'm finna buckle down. I'm finna be so serious. I wasn't. I was right back to where I was. Because I kept trying to make up, and you keep looking for it. Before you know it, you'll just keep repeating the same cycle. You just keep letting people's like, how I keep messing up, how I keep messing up. It's just a matter of really sitting down and taking it serious. I mean, taking it serious to the fact of really looking at what this man told you and understanding kind. Understanding kind, because none of us deserve it. None of us. Nobody deserves this. This is something I'm giving you. Can you imagine you got a Torah law that he's saying, I ain't even gonna judge you by it because you couldn't do it. I'll give it to you, but you couldn't do it. But the fact that he made preservation for us, or reservation for us, the fact that he said, I set up a stipulation where you can still get in. But I need you to consider that you didn't earn this. I gave it to you. That's why I had to serve him the way I do it. Because it ain't something I earned. I didn't get myself together and get it. I didn't catch on and I got it. I ain't even deserve it. He gave it to me. And now I'm stuck with this desire to push, to try to show you, I appreciate what you did because I couldn't earn it. I don't deserve it. That's why I don't make the mistakes that people like try to figure out what preacher do. Preacher, I don't have no supernatural power. I don't have nothing. I just had to make decisions. And my decision come down to how many times can I go back to this man and tell that man I'm sorry? For me, I've done it way too many times. It's like sometimes it's like a man wife saying, hey, back there had guys and people, their wife tell them, listen, if you gamble again, don't even come back. Don't even come. You ever known about it like that? Why sometimes women, back in the 70s and all, men probably wouldn't crack, it would be gambling and drinking. A lot of that was big. Am I correct? And some of them, he gambled. This man would gamble up when he get paid Friday, they're not going to send the Sunday. If he come home Saturday, he hit. When he leave back out Saturday, he coming back home walking Sunday. He ain't talking to nobody. He getting straight in the bed and go to work Monday. He kept his job. He went to church. Because as soon as he get a check, he's not coming home Friday. He's cashing that check. He going straight gambling. Can you imagine she say, if you gamble again, don't come back. And when he gambled, he lost. She never told him that. You already know. Why would you go back? I just told you if you do it again, don't come back. That's me. If I gamble again, I can't come back. I gambled too many times. I took too many chances. I pushed the envelope. Like I said, you gonna keep pushing. I pushed the envelope. So when you get to a point the way you've done so much, it's like you ain't got. I just ain't got the mental. I don't have the energy. I just don't have. I just don't have it. I just don't have it. I don't want it. I mean, it's like, how long can you feel bad? How long you gonna keep beating yourself? How long you gonna keep rationalizing? Will he forgive me? Maybe forgive me. Maybe he won't forgive me. Is this a trap? Is he just setting me up? Maybe he might cut me out later. How many times you gonna wrestle with that in your mind? So you have to really start looking at proving out for yourself where you at. I've done it. I'm on the tell you because I've done it. I've been there. I've done it. I've done it. You beat yourself up. You like, as soon as I'm going to try, it's like if I could just take off running so I can get so far from my past to where if somebody bring it up, it's so far. It's like, that don't even matter. And with him, though, he look at 1,000 years in one day. He look at you and say, it ain't been that long since you've done it.
Yeah.
What you do, he said, I respect you if it's been a day. You be like, it's been a week. It's been 5,000 days. Still new to me. How you get away from a man who one day is 1,000 years? 1,000 years one day. How long we been clean? Not even a day. Not even a day. You see why it takes everything that he's doing for us and recognizing the benefit of Yahushua HaMashiach? What you do? None of us ain't who you know done caught a day with him. Somebody get up and stand flat-footed. I've been living right a whole day. It had to go this way. See, we wouldn't see ourselves if we could see through our righteousness. You can't see yourself. You have to look at him and what he designated right and see yourself and look at how wrong you are. And when you get just fully disgusted with yourself, you'll have enough. I'm disgusted with Tony Smith lying and cheating and bamboozling and slicking his way out. And my boy ain't the people. It's bad when you lie to him. It's bad when you ask him to give you a chance and then you screw him over. Because after you screw him over, it's like, who you gonna be who you gonna be right with? Like people put in their mind, I'm better out here. I'm doing, show y'all. You screw him, and I can see you doing better out there. The only person that gave their life for us, the only person that ever cared for any of us, the whole purpose that weighed out the circumstance for us to give us the opportunity, we screw him over, but for some reason, we're better outside. Only a retard would believe that. It's not possible. The only person that wouldn't let you down, the only person that wouldn't burn you, the only person that would love us when we love ourselves, and we screw him, but for some reason, my life is so much better out there and I can see it. Why would he let my life be better?
Right.
Give me the logic in why he would let that work.
Right.
The only way it can work is a trap.
Yeah.
It's a snare. It's because I need to leave you out long enough till I come back and catch you. That's why you have to sit down and do critical thinking and not let things just look as though they're just things happening. He allows things to happen for a reason. When you look to set yourself towards salvation, the only way to get us to our purest form is get us to our biggest guilt.
Mm-hmm.
What I need saving for if I ain't doing nothing?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So it's all about how people make. You know why the world is doing what they're doing? People don't see nothing wrong with it. Everybody doing it. It was years ago, man, you was shacking up, you come back around, old folk, them folks said, man, when they said shacking up, I always pick the shack and it be head shacking. How many of y'all remember stuff like that? Man, when them folks say shacking up, you like, that thing like something just cut. You're like, when you scratch a board with your finger, you're like, oh. They be like, I ain't married. Shacking up. You're like, God, why they gotta say it like that, shacking up? I mean, they push it, make you want to go get married. The purpose, you be like trying to get from up on the cloud of shacking up. But there's other things we look at. Those are things that we originally look at that people see. These are appearances. A lot of time what we'll fight for first is the appearance. So I want to appear to look like I'm shacking up, so I'll marry. Or I call it something else. That's so we can try to make the appearance for the outer. It's still an inner man that's got to be suited. That inner man got to be met. He got to be sold. He's got to be consoled. You know, the whole time when we growing up, when we doing things, the inner man is never even considered. How many of y'all even considered when you was a teenager kid, there was an inner person? Early adult. How many? You what age? Hold on. What age you were? Come on. Y'all good with that?
No.
This man was. Look at Jerry looking at you. Jerry, tell him where his mind was. In a gutter. You hear that man? He was 4 years old when he considered there was an inner man. You believe I'm saying? Hold on. Let's do this before you put that on there. Let's do this. Let's do this so we can be fair. All right, let's be fair. First of all, none of us except for one of us in here are white. So now we're only speaking from what perspective?
Time out. There are two white people.
Let me get to that. That's what I'm saying. I'm talking about for me. And for the other people that are colored and Hispanic, we can't speak from a white perspective. Am I correct? We can't. So what we're going to do is ask another Caucasian person, could this Caucasian man have figured that there was an inner man working inside of himself at the age of 4? Mr. Caucasian Justice, who I had known, never met, and this is the first time we're talking.
Exactly.
He said he could, this other Caucasian Justice who we never met before said he can't remember 4 years old.
What they got to do with this white man?
Put that check up there. That's why that white man ain't getting a check and this one getting one. Chris, how many checks exactly do you have? So you know what you have? You have checks in both races.
That's true. No, them nigga checks.
How many white checks you got?
No white checks.
White check. That is sick. I just want to tell all the rest, that is sick. So, in saying all this, our goal is to get to understand ourselves. I asked you guys before to look in the mirror and get a real deep look at yourself. Look inside your eyes. I want you to just do it. Just get to the mirror. Just look at yourself. Typically, we look at ourselves, we look at ourselves for eyelash, if a hair out of the way, if it's a hair in our nose, if something. We're not really, you're only looking at what's superficial, outside structure. I want you to look on the inside. Just look at them and just look inside your eyes and look and notice things you didn't notice. It's something on the inside of us that we've never taken care of because we've always just looked at that person we see in the mirror. That person that we see in the mirror is clothing the real person that's on the inner side. And that person has never really been met or cultivated because we've been working to fix the outside, whether it's exercising or whether it's putting on certain fashion, whether it's going certain places, whether it's listening to certain things or eating certain things. We really had involved the inner man to consider the inner man. And you know how the inner man is fed is by the less feeding we give to the outer man. Mm-hmm. When you start to give attention to that inner man looking at, this is going to go back to dust. What's on the inside ain't going to ever die. It's going to have to come up and it's going to have to meet mashpat, which is judgment, which means I'm going to have to see this man for myself. And I'm going to see him for who he is. And this man is going to make a decision on whether or not I live or I die. Living will be with him in Shalom. Dying will be in Sheol, where I will burn for a long, long time. So I have to make decisions while I'm here. Now, you can't base your decision on other people's decisions. That's why I'm done with fighting with people about religion. That makes no sense at the point where I'm at. Whatever a person believes, that's what you believe. Don't ask, preacher, they believe, and that will have what to do with me. Let me be honest with everybody here. This is where I'm at. We spent a lot of time and we spend time trying to convince other people other things. The real person need to be convinced is us. Yeah. People gonna make their own decisions, whether good or bad. And I don't have the energy or time, and I'm not gonna exert myself over to fight with somebody about something that you wanna do. At the end of the day, these are choices. Wrong choices will land you in a grave or in a prison or homeless or whatever it is. I can't afford to make those choices. And I'm not the person that's delegated to make people do right, neither are you. The biggest thing we can do is make sure we secure our own salvation. That's it. That's all we can do. Look, there are a lot of religions. There's Islam, there's Jehovah's Witness, there's all forms of Christianity, there's Hinduism, there's Buddhism, there's Scientology. Listen, they're out here because people choose to believe whatever they want to believe. I choose to look at, I want someone that has a foresight and that also can tell me what's behind them. I need to know that. Because I'm going to be inquisitive, not only about things in front of me, but what happened before I got here. That's what I'm banking my salvation on. My life living is based upon me believing in someone I physically cannot see, but based upon the records and what he's declared, I see all the operations happening. Everything, listen, he was the only one told me to signs toward the end. We're going to be wars, How would they know they're gonna be this? Why can say it's gonna be a good time and we're gonna part? Everything he told me, he said we're gonna be earthquakes. Well, pestilence. What did this COVID, these other diseases? He told us toward the end, he said, listen, all these gonna be signs. He said, and because Kataim, iniquity, we're going to abound, get more and more, he said a harbor minute gonna wax cold. They just had, I think, what's that? One guy just went in and killed everybody in his family. He went in and killed everybody in his family. Went out, just kill everybody. What would make a man go home and kill everybody in the house, kids and wife? It don't wax cold. Ain't nothing in my heart for you. Ain't nothing in my heart. Ain't nothing in your heart for me. That's what we at. He said, because you're going to continue to keep doing things that go against. It goes against. And I'm going to show you my way is right. I don't know what people need to see. Everything he told us is working. Listen, people might say, well, people here be screwing up at the wheel, y'all. Do this. Show me my screw up. You ain't going to believe it. It worked for me. It'll work if you want it to work.
That's right.
He ain't sending nobody with me to hold me back, talk in my ear, handcuff me, and read no writings to me. When I go out of here, I got choices I got to make.
That's right.
That's all it is. Son, you heard the word. Make a choice.
That's right.
Start letting people make y'all think that this man gonna send some and tie your hands and empty stuff out your refrigerator. Not at all. Yahuah said I hid it in my heart that I might not kata against him. That's why it's got to be kept somewhere sacred. It got to be kept somewhere where you always got to remember. My first commitment ain't to y'all, my wife or my kid. My first commitment to him. When I made my league with him, none of you guys were there. My wife or my kids. This was something I had to make up for myself. I put myself in a place to where ain't nowhere else I could go. I was pinned in a corner. It was nowhere else I could go. And I know you say, I heard it. But sometimes you have to go back over so people can secure themselves and realize what you got to do. It's no special power. Ain't no sprinkling no dust. Ain't no whatever you want to do. I ain't getting no dirt off no ground and throwing it on my head. I ain't tear up my clothes or nothing else. I just realized I had burned every bridge I had with him. I didn't have a choice. I was going to have to get this right. I looked at, as you done lied as much as you can, you've been caught. What you gonna lie about now? Right. I said, when you've been pinned down in your every life, what you finna lie about now? Yeah. Like I can't. I just got to get it right. And I made my contingent on my death. If I couldn't do it, I didn't want to live. That's how bad I become and how bad I hated myself. I ain't want, if I can't do it, let me go on to the world. And that wasn't mine. Because I gave myself, what that is, if I can't do this, Lord, just let me go on in the world and live the rest of my life out there and have up a bunch of fun and drink and all and don't get sick. Are you serious? Are you serious? Mine was, I told him years ago, on my wife, I got when I told him one night, I said, I asked him if I couldn't live right to let me die. How bad your life got to be? How bad your life got to be, you ask that? Go figure. You can keep living, and you keep stacking up stuff against yourself. After a while, you realize, he said, you know what to do. Yeah. Well, mine is going to get up and walk out. That's not the agreement we made. You can't do it, you're supposed to die. That's why I've been here all these years. He was showing me, you can do it. It's all about what you want to do. I wanted him to help me. I want him to, like I said, hold my hand. Don't let me sin. Don't let me see nothing I ain't supposed to see. Don't let me touch nothing I ain't supposed to touch. Look at that. And what you gonna be doing? And what you gonna be doing? Because you want me to do a whole, you don't think about when you're asking. I mean, the man ain't gonna have time to do nothing else. He gonna be too big because I'm always looking at something. I'm always trying to touch something. So now you look at it, you want me to stay with you and don't let you touch nothing. So what you gonna be doing? Why you trying to touch it?
Yeah.
Why you trying to do it? See, everybody keep looking for him to do something. He's already done it. I've given you guys this opportunity. I've given you the job. I've given you the knowledge to learn how to overcome it by not yielding yourself to. Listen, a yielding. Are y'all familiar with that?
Yes, sir.
A yearling? What is a yearling?
Like union with a D.
No, yearling. A who? Yearling. What you say? Caution? No, you thinking yield. I'm talking about a yielding when something like a plant or fruit, when it starts to break out, call it young, when it breaks out, it comes out from it. You're not supposed to yield yourself to kataim. You're not supposed to allow it to come out from you. There's a lot of things happen with that. And typically when you see a tree or you see a plant and it give out fruit or parine plural, how does that start? So we'll say it louder.
From a seed.
A seed. That's why you gotta be careful what you let people plant around you. You gotta be careful what you let fall in you. That's what a seed does. All you gotta do is fall in the right place. It'll take root.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. When he said Yahuah, they called Jeremiah, you know what he told him to do? Wonder why he wanted to root up. Because there was already some stuff there.
Hi.
First thing he wanted to do, I want you to root up. And then he wanted to do what else? What he tearing down? Some stuff that finna be put up. You already got it. He said, tear it down. I want you to root it up and I want you to tear it down. Then I want you to plant and I want you to build. So you know what we try to do? I'm just gonna build on top of it. Bad decision.
Yeah.
When you build on top of it, and you can't build on top of katayin, it's gonna come down. No matter how long it is, it's gonna come down. That's why I start with a foundation. I wanna make sure I don't build wrong. The only way to build properly is to make sure I do it the same way he did. Go back to whatever put up before. That was only written to teach me, to show me. When I go back and I read different episodes of happening, that's so I realize if he did it them, what you think I'd do to you? If I cut a man off who only had one chance, what you think I'd do with you and your 20,000? I cut a man off one time, he yearly did something. This man had no idea I'd come for him like that. And I only cut this man down in his one time of him doing something. So when you sit around and you done got 15 gazillion time with me, where you think you at? Then you will fear me. You should fear me and you should consider that your time is shortened with me. That you don't know when I'm coming back to get you. If I cut that person off in their strength for one time, you've done it how many times? Then you can't afford to mess up with me, can you? You should be one of my best workers. Because you understand that now. Think about it. You ain't done nothing. You ain't did it one time, then. Okay. I mean, it ain't like I did a whole bunch of times. I did it one time. How many times have we messed up? Give me somebody. How many of y'all done messed up him before? All right, give me a number. Give me a roundabout number. What you do with that? Adam, how many times? We sure? That one is 16 times? How we know that one is 5 times, 5th time? And he repented and did what? He never made it back. So since we way over one time, how we ought to serve him? Fear and trembling. Fear and trembling for the fact that all we can consider, how you let me when he didn't. Let's go with them in Yashayahu. First time we learned he started counting. How many times they had?
10.
We sure it's not 11. Are we positive they didn't mess up 12? How many of y'all in here only messed up 12 times? How many of y'all messed up around 12? Let me see the hands of everybody messed up, folks. Leave your hand up when I hit your number. When I hit your number. 10, 11, 8. That kind of throw us off. But put them down. I just make sure I got. If I call your number, let's do that. How many of y'all messed up 8 times? When I call these numbers, that's only 8.
Oh.
How many of y'all only messed up 20? How many of y'all only messed up about 40 times? 37. 50. Am I getting close to anybody?
No, no, sir.
Anybody? Am I getting close?
No, sir.
Explain to me how Yashayahu got cut off in 10 times. 10. And he said, I swore in my wrath, they'll never enter my rest. 10. So let me get this straight. When Yashayahu come into Mashpat, judgment, and they look at where they going for And you did how many times?
Too many. Yeah.
How you think they're looking at you? How you think they're looking at us? I messed up exactly 10 times. I know, they know their number, 10. And they looking at, he swore that they were never going to enter into his rest. How many times did you mess up? Somebody give me a proximity number, approximate. I can't get one. I'll be honest, I'll be lying. Somebody give me an approximate number, a roundabout number, a close to number? What we gonna do with that? If you make it in and you watch these people get cut off for 10 times, what you do with that? That's called con.
Yeah.
That's what conceded favor is. Because I counted it to you. Just like I counted 10 to them. But I counted to you that I was gonna spare you. Because I just knew that you would be indebted to me. I just knew you would have harmed me. When you sat back and looked at all the people I cut off that I wouldn't give a chance, that sought me with tears. People who went to give me everything they had, and I wouldn't take it. But when I gave you this opportunity, I just knew you would have harmed me. That's why it's called favor. Concede. You couldn't earn it.
Right.
Ain't a number. Thank God I ain't mess up that one more time. Are you serious? You've been over the number. Had nothing to do with your thinking. That's what concede is. I favored you. That's why we should serve him better.
That's right.
See, what a lot of people do is take it to, well, since, he gave me favor, that's more of a rationality for me to keep messing up, because after all, I can't earn it by works anyway. See, this is called the stupidity. It don't drive me to say, I have an opportunity to go do. I look at, I can't afford nothing else. I just literally cannot afford anything else. Especially when I'm looking at people he cut off at one time and 10 times, and I'm nowhere in the county. Are y'all following me?
Yes, sir.
Is it making sense to y'all?
Yes, sir.
That's why you understand why you're him. So a lot of time we came in, we looked at, yeah, I got a debt, but you didn't understand your debt.
True.
So we go back and we read and we look at these other people. You start looking at, wow, that was a good thing I wasn't born back then. Because no doubt, you'll be one of the people that we'd have been reading of that's encouraging us not to do what you did. Instead, he let us learn from other people's mistakes.
Right.
Do y'all understand that in order for us to understand concede, favor, was watching him cut people off, and we can look and you say, it's a little extreme. But he said, but then it's my book, it's my word. And they rejected it. So I did what I said I was gonna do, I cut them off. And then we come along and we screw up and you read it, you say, is he gonna cut me off? Now you gotta work to make sure you don't.
Right.
Now you gotta put everything behind and make sure I gotta try to show him that I'm appreciative. Cause if I do something else, it's like I just took it in vain. It's like I just took it and made mockery of it. An opportunity that you don't even give people, that you cut people off and you say, I can't go back on my word. Do y'all understand those people, he couldn't go back on his word? Just like he can't go back on his word, I gave you some by favor. He couldn't do it. You start to appreciate things when you really start. I know I laugh and talk with y'all, but make no mistake, I'm not an idiot. This way that we got to walk, we got to halak, you got to have understanding. When you talk us about talking about you and to your beneath your children, we don't do it. I know we don't do it, but you need to. They need to understand before they become adults like us and make decisions we make, and our kids be like some of them. 1 time, 2 times, 10 times, and he cut them off. What was the purpose of us talking to him about it? That's the purpose of us going back over it with them, because there's going to be a tool adopted that's not going to do it. And he said, I'm going to cut them off. And you won't be able to, you can cry and blame him, but he's going to look at, did you do what I told you to do with them? That you were supposed to bring them up in the nurturing admonition? That you were supposed to talk about it with them? Well, I figured when we went to service, I didn't say nothing about when they went to service. I told you what you were supposed to do. Listen, kids are gonna make decisions. All we're trying to do is make sure we get you the right information. So you make your decision. You be good with how it go now. Be good with the whole thing. Don't be good with part of it. Don't be good when things working. Be good when things go bad. Be good when he cut everything off around you. Because that's his restitution. When you make a decision to turn your back on Yahuah, you made a bad decision.
Sir.
And you got to be ready to go with everything that go along with it.
Yep.
If it's a case of AIDS, if you lose your eyes, you go cripple, arm get cut off, you get shot, you get locked up in prison, you lose everything you got. That's what comes to people that turn their back on Yahuah. So you just have to be good. That's them saying, only reason I ain't walk out that door, I ain't good what's gonna happen. I got legs, I ain't good what's gonna happen. Ain't no food, what's gonna happen? I'm gonna go out there and do well and do what? How long they gonna work? I still gotta die.
That's right.
I still got more time of aging, and that means, and I got to see him.
Yep.
And when you do, you gotta get restitution for everything you done, every decision you done made. It ain't worth it. I suffered enough. I have suffered enough at the hands of my stupidity for me to go and ask someone that just be downright dumb and stupid.
Right. Yeah.
Come on, finish this up. Try to get finished. Come on. Whatever
Nikatab before,
was
Nikatab kilometers,
the teachers, show us instructors,
so that through enduring
going through without quitting,
and through the Nakum of the Ketubim,
comfort of the writers.
we might have Tikva.
Give me right quick, Alaph Yachuchan 2 and 1. They call it John. First John, Alaph Yachuchan. Listen to the book.
My little Benin, behold, I am Katab these things to you, so that
Right.
you may not Kata,
So I write these things to you for what reason?
so that you may not Kata.
So you won't commit sin. I wrote this to you. He said, I put a little angel in your lunch this morning. For what reason? What reason he gave a little angel? Or put a little bird in your ear? So he can remind you of what? And what? So that's Nikatab was written. So he wrote this, he Katab this for what reason?
That you may not Kata.
That's the purpose of Romans 15 and 4. So we wouldn't sin.
That's right.
He was hoping that if we went back and look at what happened before, that would be your encouragement to not commit sin. So now we got Yahuchanan coming on saying, my little Benin, I don't wrote to you this so you won't sin. What happened, son?
And if any ish Kata,
Tell them what happened.
we have an advocate with the Abba.
An advocate is one that fights in the favor of. That's the only reason we're him. See, he had an out. So when he wrote this, he had in mind, I'm writing this because I'm trying to keep him from sinning. But everybody ain't at the same level. I'm talking to kids. I'm talking to children. But if any of them do, I want to let them know that he already put some pre-planning in him for us. That we have an advocate, somebody that fights in the favor of. Listen.
Yahushua HaMashiach, the Sadiq.
See that? Listen.
And he is
So he's the first child advocate. And he is?
the kafar of our Kataim.
I think they put down the propitiation in James' version. So he just told you the kafar, he's the offering for. Propitiation would be the gain or the regain. To the Goyim, which are the other nations, he would be a gain. He cannot be a gain to Yehudi, to the Yahudim, or to Yashayahu. He will be a regain because this is something we had before. So that's why they use the terminology propitiation, which will be the gain or the regain. Remember, he's talking to a group of people and he's referring to them as children. I'm giving children instructions, but I'm also letting them know if one of them did, because of their youth, a lack of knowledge or experience, that there's an advocate, someone to fight in the favor of. Now he's letting us know that he was our offering by being our kafar. But James told us that he was a gain or a regain to us. Listen.
And not for our kataim only,
But
also for the kataim of the whole alam.
wow. And which would make sense based off of what? That statement, hands, hands, hands. Tell me what we got on, what you got?
You cannot wish to
What does it say?
Lord gave us only the guidance that whosoever believes in him.
Come put that check on the board. You forgot he said he sold a hard the alarm. I know it. But you was on the right path, don't you? You just, guess what? And I had that marker if any man got it wrong. And everything. See, I already had the perpetuation up here. Ain't that right? See, and you gained a check and regained one. And right, you got both of them in it. But no, that's right. Elohim sold a hard the alarm, which makes sense. That's why he said you can't leave it to just us. It's also for the kataim of the whole alarm. See, the problem why the alarm doesn't recognize it, because I'm going to start with myself. We hadn't made it inviting enough for people to look at it that way.
Right. That's true.
With religion has taken the word to fight their proof of right at each other versus let's just put down facts.
Yeah.
Let's not make it about each other. Let's just put down the facts. Yeah. What did he say? What did he do? What was his intent for us? That's not a fight. Well, I don't see that. I see all us back naked and drinking. Look, that's where you at. You're not, because you're looking from a different perspective. Listen, for me, I looked at where I was and still at, I'm at a point of death. And when you're at a point of death, the only thing you start choking right now and see if you start thinking about your car and your watch. You say right now you can't breathe. What you thinking about? Making sure my clothes neat. Man, you start getting hot. You panicking. Whatever I need to do to breathe. Somebody saying, calm down, be still. I can't breathe. You can't tell me nothing. That's how you got to be when people trying to encourage you to commit kata.
That's right.
I don't hear anything you're saying right now because of my situation. So this is how we got to look at it. We fought so hard and long at people to run down other people. Listen, every man word going to be made manifest. Every man word going to be made manifest what sort it's of. Nobody going to get by. And by the time you get through fighting, the folk that love you for fighting, they won't love you when you're teaching. They want to keep hearing fighting. At some point, you got to sit down and start considering your soul. Your inner man dying. Why you wasting time hating and fighting people? Where you at spiritually?
That's right. That's right.
And then where's your understanding? That means I wrote a letter to you not to commit katab. Not to commit katab. Sin. But if any man do it, he said we have an advocate.
Yes, sir.
He said not just for us, and for the whole alarm. We know what. We look at this. Coming to the knowledge of being his people, being Yashayahu. F everybody else. That pretty much where it put us off on. I apologize. You ain't gonna believe where we were before we came to that knowledge.
Where they are.
We were the F everybody else people. Mm-hmm. Because that's what religion teaches you to do, to fight and hate and kill so much time. Why don't you just get to understand? Make sure you got it right.
That's right.
Anybody gonna be saved, they'll come to it.
That's right.
If you got a knowledge, you got a desire to be saved, you will come. If you ain't, you're gonna do what you're doing anyway.
That's right. That's right.
If you're willing to gamble with your life and take a chance on, I see something else. Listen, you got to be good with it when you lay down. You got to be good with it when you get up. Listen, I don't wrestle on sleeping. I don't wrestle getting up thinking, oh, what's going on? I don't know. It's so much stuff. There's so many religions. I can't say what's right. All you got to do is sit down and pat him out. Even the writer told us in the 6th chapter of the book of Yashayahu, 6 and 16, he told you to stay in the Darakim. That's not in no way. That's in all of them. And he said, and see, he didn't tell me to go nowhere. And look, appearance, take knowledge of them. He said, ask for the ancient.
That's right.
Which one the oldest one you got? That's why I'm with this. We ain't got nothing older than that.
Right, right.
All the other people religion. I don't watch these people. These people ain't got none of that stuff. Give me dates and time periods when you got this stuff.
That's right.
All I want to know is this. What were people doing before that?
Right.
You got an 1,800-year religion. So you tell me the word 1,800 years old? You tell me man existed for approximately 4,000 years with nothing until this came? Are you serious? Direction didn't come but 1,800 years later? Stop it. Just stop it. It makes sense when he put man here. He gave man the narrative then. He gave man his instruction from the time he got here. Come on. I ain't waiting to catch you. It's too late. Yep. I'm going to try to, how old are you, Ken? 30. So I'm going to whip it behind and teach him how to obey me. What's the problem? I'm going to let man run for 4,000 years and come back and throw some direction now about 1,800 years later. Too late. Too late. You don't let us run too long.
That's right.
Man know what he need to do. Man don't want to do it.
That's right.
The more he keep, and that's why he told, if these chata, these sinners try to entice you, I don't consider these people.
That's right.
You can't listen to these people. I don't have time to listen to these people, man. Listen, I know how to screw up. I don't need no information on how to screw up. That's wasting my time. I read this book about how to screw up. I wrote it.
That's right.
That nigga lying. Who are the author? He lying. I wrote that book.
Mm-hmm.
I like that joke like Nicky Barnes said about Frank Lucas. He seen that movie. He said, what? He said, Frank Lucas too stupid. He said, that movie about me. He said, man ain't did all that. Nicky Barnes done made Time magazine. He said, man too stupid to wrote that. What talking about he done did all that stuff? Just stop it. I'm so sick of these lying drug dealers. I had $300-something million. I was finished stop. Yeah, I did too yesterday. Stop lying. $300-something million go down to $20. Just stop it. You gotta just stop. These folks tell more lies. Them movies be cute though. Walk out here and shoot a man in broad daylight in the head, everybody see you. Then go sit in the restaurant and finna eat my breakfast. Don't that make sense, Uncle Ted? Broad daylight, everybody. They put $20 in a glass, go sit down, finna eat my. No police, no eyewitnesses. People quit being stupid. I watch these movies, I just laugh at them. I laugh in the face of danger. Like Simba did. Wait, no time with that foolishness. They believe in it. I know it was crime when you watched it. Don't watch, listen, they show you them movies to make a fool out you. You watch these folks learn the truth about it, they just liars. Come on. About like Puff Daddy, come and hit Daddy with Frank Lucas. I don't believe none of this stuff these folks be talking. And he just finding out when you found out. Just stop it. Man, he a flaming homosexual. Mm-hmm.
Right.
Come on. Listen.
And in this, we know that we,
Did what he said now. And what happened?
In this, we know
what we know.
That we know him.
That we know him. How?
If we keep his commandments.
What did he say? Come on.
The one who says, I know him, and does not keep his commandments, he has anything false, and the Amat is not in him.
That's how you learn how we identify whether we know him or not. If we do what he say. That's what he told about us being his companion. He said, if you do whatever I tell you. Mm-hmm. That's what he said. If you do whatever I tell you. So you want to find out where you at with him. Just find out right now. Mm-hmm. He said, hereby we do know that we know him if we keep his Amat. He just said he know it and don't keep it. Basically, he's nothing but a liar. He said, the Amat ain't even in you. He said, that's how you'll be able to distinguish out who know him and who don't. So it don't matter how loud you can beat drum, what you can sing, or if you can rap, or you can play a guitar or keyboard, or if you can squall. He said, if you can keep his commandment, he said, that's who know him. See, these are the things that people don't want to sit down and look at. People looking for gifts and other things they can try to show off to try to show they know him. I don't need none of them. All I got to do is just do what he told me. He said, that's who know him.
That's right.
That's it. See, that's why now, this is what you look at. He told you, I wrote this to you. For what reason now? So now I want to know how I know he ain't sinning.
Keep his commandments.
That's why I was going to know it. He said, well, what he told you to do? He told me, say. You doing it? Yeah. That got that. Then you know him.
Yeah.
See, that's the whole purpose of us being able to identify and understand. There are a lot of things that we started looking at We were told a lot of things we had to sit down and start putting together, realize, and then it all come down to choices we make. That's the thing I appreciate about the way I did. I wanted him to be with me. I'd have liked for him to lock that refrigerator door and not let me open and get another bill. I'd like for him to throw my marijuana in the trash. I'd have liked for him to just took away the urge to fornicate. But he looked at that point, I wouldn't really understand how important it was that I had a part in it. I needed to get the feel. I need to understand where I was. I need to understand where I was going if I continued. So this became a matter of will. I want to be saved. I cried it. I prayed it. But we need to see the proof of it. The proof of it was a matter of, let's see if you'll do what I told you. That's the only way you're going to know. See, it's a lot of stuff that you're going to fight with and you're going to ask yourself and you're going to look at. Some of I'm sure you do it. Want to know if this the right way. I know it ain't some other way because all these people out here and with all these people out here, how one way right. And that's because you kind of looking to go do something else. That's you looking at something else. The whole thing is about this. The word is here for everybody. And the opportunity for salvation, just like he just said, he could have just said Yashayahu and Yahuah, but he said, not only for us, it's for the whole along. Think about it. When you really look at it, what kind of Elohim would he be to make everybody and only just pick one little group of people? By color. When you got all these different, who made all these colors? Think about it. For a lot of the Hebrews, like white people can't be saved. And you know, everybody know white people made themselves. Chinese people made themselves. Black people, the only people all he made. You know how retarded you sound? That man made everybody. Now, there was a particular people that he made that he favored. And you know what that would cause other people to do? Who know? I heard it. Emulation, jealousy. That's right. It was supposed to make them the desire that Elohim. Now, we lost it. And he looked at the way to get them. One way they would be grafted in if they came and they sojourned, stayed among us. And they kept every ritual, every right that he gave us. He said, y'all the same people. Then he gave an opportunity to say, well, everybody can't get to him. Then I'll let these people fall. And when they fall, I'll be able to recover some other people. I'll replace them with another people. And when I replace them with another people, the people I had at the first, they'll come back and they'll consider. Now they'll really love me. Because they'll look at, we took for granted what we had.
Yes, sir.
We took it for granted. That's the truth. The others took it for granted. Listen, they raised kids that they told about the way. They told them what happened in Mizraim. They told them how they came out of Mizraim. They told them about all the works and signs and wonders. And those kids stayed in their fear. But eventually they had kids. And man, I haven't heard that junkie here say, my granddad and great-granddad have been saying that stuff. How long you heard Uncle Ted? My Lord, won't be long. Lord, soon be coming back here. How many times? So after a while, it don't seem as authentic. Yeah. Because you've been hearing it so long. So he needed the people he needed to cast out. It was intended for, listen, our fall was intended. It was intended. And when we failed and we found ourselves dispersed and scattered, how you recover it? How many of y'all done dropped the glass before, dropped the glass? How many of y'all tried to catch that glass before it falls or something? And it failed and you picked it up. What you say? Did you get and try to glue it back together?
No.
What you do with it?
Throw it away.
Guess what? That's how they felt like, just getting thrown away. They would throw it away. We looked like we were so broken up. How are we going to be put back together? Yeah. It seemed almost sensitive, but he realized I did it for a reason. Now we look back at how he favored those people and looked at, well, man, I used to have that. That used to be me. And we looked at what do we need to do to get back to that estate. At the same time, it gave another people opportunity to consider what we had. And look that, man, I don't want to mess this up. So look, I'm not going to reject the people that came and took it now. I'm just going to give you an opportunity to come back. So your fall opened up a door for other people. It don't make sense that he gave him for the alarm. And I only say Yahuah and Yashayahu, just black people, we quote unquote call them. Y'all understand that? It doesn't logically make sense to call that fair. Now, when I taught you to be fair, now when I taught you to be impartial, regardless of whether it was your own or a stranger. Why would I care about a stranger? I told you how to treat a stranger. And I told you why. Because you was a stranger. Why would I care about them since I'm only going to save you? Because I'm not only going to save you. I gave it to you first, but your fall was coming. And by your fall, they were going to get an opportunity for other people to get in. And then I gave a chance for reconciliation. That's what we told about perpetuation. Gain, first time. Regain. You had them before, but you lost it. So guess what? I got two sets of people that I made one people, and all of them grateful to me. One grateful for the fact that, man, I ain't never had this before. I was so glad to get it. I ain't going to mess it up. Another group of people, I had it before and lost it. I thought I wasn't going to make it back, but I made it back. Now he got two people indebted to him. One of them, they couldn't see themselves getting it because they weren't the people. So I made a people fall for them to get it. The people that failed, they got put away, can't see themselves being recovered because they looking at how many people he never recovered back, but then he recover them. I make them all one people. Mm-hmm. You got to be Elohim to understand that.
That's right.
See, my young people, I talk to y'all a lot of times about stuff because I know the world persuasive and it look good. Austin told me, he said, you be telling them stories, you think them stories are discouraging them? It more or less encouraging them, make them want to go. It's not intended to. I appreciate what he said about it. I try to be honest with y'all because I want you to know the truth. And the decisions you guys make will be your decisions alone. Because you'll eventually get to an age where, hey, nobody can't tell you nothing, you grown. And you know what you're going to find out when you go to jail? You grown and you're going to do what they tell you.
Yes, right. Yes, sir.
You're going to be real grown and you're going to do everything they tell you.
That's right.
Everything they tell you. Yeah. And you don't, you're going to take a real good beat down too. Yep. So you're going to learn. It don't matter about being, I know a lot of y'all, I can't wait to get grown. Nobody tell me what to do. That don't exist. You don't go down the street, some people going to tell you to stop. And you got to wait for some more people to come by. And you're going to be grown too. Yep. And you're going to be real grown. Hey, y'all done seen that before? Stop and wait. You try to, don't go nowhere. You grown too. Yeah. Don't get out your mind. I get grown about tell you, we had that same, didn't we have that same stupid mind? Yes, sir. When I get grown about it, that don't exist. When you get grown, you still going to have to obey somebody. That's right. You know what I'm saying? Get kidnapped and be grown. And see, they say, oh, I didn't mean to kidnap you. You grown. You're going to do what they're going to tell you. They come down to rob you or rob a place you in there. Be grown. Tell them you grown. You ain't getting robbed. And you're going to find out how they're going to work out. Life don't consist of just doing what you want to do. There's some things he allots to us. But you still got rules and regulations. Y'all got it? Come on, let's see what he said on this. So I got something to just show y'all. Listen.
But whoever keeps his debar,
what happened?
The ahab of Elohim is truly perfected in him.
It's complete in him. By this,
we know that we are in him.
So now we're starting to look at, now he's telling us that this is how we know it's complete, Talmud. And complete makes sense. If something complete, is there any reason to do anything with it if it's finished?
No, sir.
You ain't gonna believe it. It's no reason to do nothing with anything if it's perfect either, is it? So perfect and complete will be the same thing.
That's right.
If it's perfect, what do? Somebody you said, it's perfect. What that mean? A little more adjustment?
Okay.
If it's complete, what that mean? Finish a little bit more of it? That's how they look that perfect. It's complete. So what we find if we don't have the hub in us? Incomplete. That's right, incomplete. So now we get a chance to examine ourselves and see where we at. People wonder, I'm wondering where I'm at, Well, how do you do when he give you the mark? When he tell us what to do, how do you operate with that? Well, I feel like I do pretty good. I mean, I could do better. So what did you just say? Incomplete. See, these are the things we got to look at because we're talking about his ahab being perfected in us. Well, that's what we're looking at for it being complete in us. That's what we're trying to look at. See, with Yahushua, you ain't going to believe on the two, what he said. He said it was complete. He had completed it. See, let's see what he said. 17th chapter of the book of Yahuchanan, they call John. We know you back. Oh, I'm sorry. They said, she said, I'm gonna make a believer out of it, man. He ain't gonna believe it till he hear it. You all right? We ain't on nobody else's schedule. Listen.
Yahushua spoke these things Then he lifted up his own toward Shamayim and said,
What did it say?
Abi, the hour has come.
The time has come.
Kabul your being, so that your being may also kabul you.
So he want glory to him so he can give glory to him. Right?
Yes, sir.
He said, my glory, by you giving me my glory, I give it back to you. So there's a purpose in it. That's just like when a man, like when I look at this, when we do a project and we get through with that rough project, whatever it was, a burnt building or whatever it is, a property, you put it back together. When that building is complete, then when people see it and from its first works, they're going to look and say, wow, that's nice or that's beautiful, man. And you ain't going to be where they go to. You got to go back to the builder. It's got to go. So you can see when he looked at Yahushua looked at this building that you established, which was him, that you took, and it was dilapidating. People seen it in his first kabul, the first glory. He asked y'all that before. He said, who was here who seen it in his first kabul? In his first glory. He said it was going to be nothing to his second in comparison. See, the Yahushua we saw in the flesh is nothing comparison to the one we saw that resurrected, the one that's coming back. But they had to understand that when they built the first house, the first bed. See, it had been burned by fire. Fire is used to do two things, purify, destroy something, and to prove out a work. So it burned it down, and he came back, and they showed him the foundation. He wanted to know, was there anybody there who had seen it in the first kabul? He said, for those that had seen it first kabul, he said, it won't be any comparison in the second. So that is to get us to understand. A lot of time we get wrapped up in, you ain't gonna be, how many of y'all been here on this earth more than one time? Okay, so I'm gonna just take a lucky that they call guests on it. So this probably be your first time here.
Yes, sir.
That's good. So your second appearance gonna be nothing in comparison to your first. Hello?
Yes, sir.
See, that's what he's talking about. He's gonna change these vile bodies into one of those glorious ones like he has. See, everything they understood it from a natural state. What happened with us, because we man and prone to, subjected to, you get caught up in the first building. And because you get caught up in the first building, you don't even consider the second appearance. Hello? They got to see that physically, that what they thought was everything, that when he came and put it back, reconstructed it, they said, wow, I had so much in the first, I didn't consider the second. Y'all got it? Let's look at Yahushua and Adam. Who was first that you knew? Adam. When we saw him, come on, in his image, in his likeness, let him have. But then we see Yahushua. Where we put these guys in comparison? It ain't no comparison when you look at Adam and Yahushua, is it?
No, sir.
No comparison. That's how far off, because now we look at being translated into the Benin, the sons of Elohim.
That's right.
But if you're still caught up in the first appearance, then you won't even consider the second.
Right.
That is, and the reason or how you know that is because where you put your affection at.
That's right.
In the third chapter book of Colossians, if we did, what was it again? We risen. That means you can't rise unless you're down. Stand up for a second. Okay, now stand up. That's what I'm saying. Don't make sense. Not logical. So he said, rise, if we be risen. You said that thing. If we've been risen, then where we going to have to be? That means I took the first one down so I can show you the kabul of the second. See, all this to get us to understand the translation of Mut, death, in his whole faction working, is to understand I'm going to take down the first one so I can establish the second one. I can't establish it while the first one living. What are we using? Hands. Comparison. Y'all gonna let pop? Hold on. It's the hallway. Woo! Say if you can answer, you finna cut. I said, woo. Shaquille said, boy, if I could have answered that one. You know I'm looking at now, because Humpback doing it here, and I know when I get your answer, you're looking saying, I had that joint too. I'm just making sure. No takers in the hall. Where in at? Mr. Little Bible? Come on, what you got cooking? That's right, marriage. Marriage. Think about it. You couldn't marry a second to win.
That's first one move.
You ain't gonna believe it. See, you can't take on the second appearance until the first one be gone.
Mm-hmm.
How what you got? 5th chapter, 2 Corinthians 5:1. So think about it. So now what are we fighting to do? What are we typically, what are we doing? We're fighting to keep this first one alive. So while we fight to keep the first one alive, guess what we're keeping away?
Second.
The second one. The second one. That's why Yahushua looked at, he couldn't resist his move. Because this was the first appearance he came out. We hadn't seen, he had been out here before. That was his first appearance. So he knew what needed to happen. I gotta go. He tried to tell them, I gotta go. He told the comforter can't come till I leave. I gotta go. So a lot of times that we fight, this ain't a teaching until you go kill yourself. But we have to start to modify a lot of things that we do in behavior, in conversation, in association, so the second one can come. Y'all got it? We're supposed to seek the second one because we're looking at something far better. This has its moment. Come on, you can have a good time in the flesh. Ain't nobody and it don't have to be sin. You can have a good time in the flesh. The only problem with it, you get tired, you get sleepy, it get old, you run out of money. Something happen, you get too full, you get sick. That's the problem when you have, but you need to know that because these are the limitations to the first man. The second man don't have that problem. Y'all got it? See, Yahushua had things he had to suffer. It was a situation he had to just leave. He would have died. The second man don't have that problem. See, a lot of time while we fighting the hold to the first, we're keeping the second one from coming. Y'all got it? So then we start looking at what we fear, death. I fear it. To God, do the fear. I've been living all my life. How I'm so open to death. So I need understanding that it's only coming so he can establish the second. Y'all got it?
Yes, sir.
The only way to take away the first, so he can establish the second. Hello? When it came down to Yashayahu, when they had fallen, and he kept Yehudah, when he moved Yashayahu, what did the Mullah Kutha do? I'm going to go get it and read it. He took Yashayahu. When he removed them out of their place, he brought another people and planted them down. He couldn't plant them there until he moved them out. He brought people from Havilah and Kutha, and he put them there instead of Yashayahu in Shamron. That's why he told us not to, when he sent the 12 out, he told them don't go to any city of Shamron. They told you Samaria. We don't know where Samaria is. It's Shamron. And he told them don't send nobody there because none of them was there. They had been removed and replaced, but he couldn't replace them until he got them out. So there are things you need to understand. So before you take on your second appearance, the first one got to be removed. Hello? But in order to help you transition, then you know there's some things you got to do. You got to modify. Well, there's some things you got to get rid of. You got to kill it out in order to affect unusual affections. Y'all got it. There's a lot of things we got to kill out to make us ready for the second man, for his appearance.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yes, sir.
Wow. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Let's finish seeing what he said right in the 17th chapter. Some of the 17th chapter?
You want second?
Oh, the second one? Okay, 5 and 1. Let's see what he told him. Come on.
For we know that if our tent of this Beth, which is on the Aras, is torn down, we have a building from Elohim, a Beth which is not made of hands, and it continues Alam and Shamayim.
So let me ask a question. Tent, body, what you got? Now, this one, as long as you got it, how you gonna get to the other one? He said, we know this, that if this one is torn down, if this one is destructed, he said, then we have another one that's Alam, that's eternal, that continues to live. So when is this second one supposed to come? After the first one is torn down. So we had to understand the operation of transitioning. That's what we get caught up. This is our fault. We get caught up in transitioning. I got to try to get all my fun out. I got to try to get everything get out. Then you kind of impeding on the second one coming because you're trying to give too much life to the first. Yeah. Instead of modifying, we're trying to kill it out. We're trying to look at Yahushua. All he kept doing was modifying, killing out things. Even when it came down his mother on the two, he like, I got one other thing I need to get rid of. Sure. Yeah, I got to kill it out. Because a lot of times affection for things can hold you back or people from transitioning. Hello?
Yes, sir.
Listen what he told us we do.
For even now we groan, we are longing to be.
How many of y'all grunt sometimes you get up? See, that's how I know a man wrote this. How would somebody know we've grown in this body? Sometimes y'all get up, so you say, pain of getting up in the morning. Didn't he tell her? He said, in this one, he tell you why. In this one, you groaning. In this one, you have affliction. What else?
We are longing to be clothed with our Beth, which is from Shamayim.
See that? So all of that is now he's telling you, this is your body longing to get to where something works better for it. And some people can tell when they've done certain things reacting, their body reaction tell them certain thing they did were wrong. They said, I know I shouldn't have ate that. How you know? Whenever I do that, my body do this, it start telling me this is going, I know this. You know what I'm saying? See that? Guess what? Now he said your groaning, your body, he said, we didn't know that your body is designed, your nephias is designed to transition. He said that's what it's doing. It wants to transition out. Who wants to be? If I put you in a pain, stress situation, what you saying? Man, I like it. They're comfortable. What you saying? You ain't gonna believe what your body's trying to do. What you think your nephias doing? It's trying to get out. This is very uncomfortable. It wants to get out. You ain't gonna believe when Yahushua told her. Now, when he was on the ride, y'all remember what happened when the Shadim, he called the Shadims out? When he told them Shadim to come out, y'all remember what happened? What they do? And they recognized who he was. They told him who he was. What about the woman that touched when they touched the hem of his garment? What happened to her? He had up 50 people. What about when he stopped the storm when he was on the ship? What did they say? What did they say about him? What amount of what? You said it, what amount of spirit?
Man.
Why they say what amount of man it was? Because that's exactly what he was, a man. Now, when he got up, he said, all authority given to me. You know, at that point, I'm unstoppable. I'm unstoppable. He couldn't say that the first time. He was waiting on Moot. He hadn't conquered Moot. How you unstoppable? You hadn't even conquered Moot. Guess what we have to do, people? So let's see how that worked. Now, he was what relation was he to Elohim? Being son. We probably made him in his image. Out here likeness and let him have. And he wanted him to, what he wanted him to do on a rise? What did he want Adam to do? Have dominion. Somebody I heard what? Subdue. What y'all think when he went down to Cabal? What was that Cabal at? On Mars, Jupiter? That's why he had to take it over. He said, everything I got to take it over. He said, that's the last enemy I got to take now was move. Come on. Listen, he had to prove himself out to be. I told him to subdue it. Now, if you don't know how to use it, that's on you. The man got up and told you, I did it. And he got up, he wanted to add move. Listen, he started rubbing and said, you know what he was trying to find? That stain. That's what he wanted to know. He asked the Kabul, he asked the grade, where your power at? Where your strength at? What was the purpose of him being from Nazareth? That's what he was trying to show you. I overcome. He's overcame it. He was just like, listen, it was just like when a man said when a tore thread, when it touched a fire. He said, broke, they wrapped him up. Listen, he was like a tore thread. They kept trying to figure out. He said, you take some cords, never been dried, he said, you wrap me. He said, I'd be like any other man. You ain't gonna believe it. They put gray clothes on Yahushua just like any other man. But they forgot, he was from Nazareth. He was a Nazareth. That's what Shamshun was. That's why he knew the strongest man we ever know. He was able to break it. So that's what he's trying to tell about being overcomers. We were already given this authority. Subdue it. The problem we got, you don't hear subdue, you hear succumb. Those are two different words, subdue and succumb. So we got to start looking at how we see things and understand what's this man real objective for. You can keep working the way you're going, but you just spinning your wheels, you ain't getting nowhere. This is about a relationship. This is about possessing information to help you transfer over. A lot of people don't realize, a lot of people work with you just like therapists, psychiatrists, or even if you go see these people that do mind reading thing, amazing they do why they don't do your feet? Why don't you use your elbows? The mind. The mind is so powerful to conquering a person or empowering a person or weakening a person. Don't you know what a man will do sometimes to a woman? You get a pretty woman, that pretty shit, he can constantly keep ragging her till he pull her down till she feel ugly. Because he mentally destroyed her. Play with your mental. Why you think when Yahushua he try to build up your mind? Because a lot of people get persuasion. Power of persuasion. And a lot of times we miss stuff like that. Why the book tell you as a man thinking? Wow, it's amazing. It's amazing. He's going to operate in that fashion too. Now you can lie to yourself. You ain't going to believe it. You know you lying to yourself. It ain't about lying to yourself. It's about knowing the truth. Why you think he said you will know the amount and the amount do what?
Make you free.
Guess what? You be just like Shamshon. It be just like he said a thread when it touch. How long it take a fire to burn a piece of thread? About 20 minutes? What, an hour and a half? About as soon as it get down. That's what he's trying to tell you. When you get the knowledge, when stronghold come, you break them like that. One thing you start learning to do, unlike Shamshon, see, that's exactly what you learn. Don't even get entangled. See, the problem with Shamshon, the real knowledge was, you shouldn't even got entangled with it.
That's right.
You saw with Yahushua when he was up on the heart on the mount and Satan kept asking to do something. How many times he got entangled with it? So I'm gonna just jump down so I can shut your mouth. Not even get myself entangled with it. Because I'm trying to please the person that chose me.
That's right.
See, when you don't have a commitment to nothing, then you can do anything. That's being honest. You don't have a commitment to nothing, you can do anything. I look at that a lot of times. I never really looked at being committed to something. I dated relationship. I wasn't trying to be faithful, no, but I didn't feel like it was nothing. It was just dating. It wasn't nothing. And I looked at marriage the most serious, and I stayed away from it until I did. I said, "Oh, when I get to it, that's something that's serious, and I want to be serious about it. I don't want to do like I did like this, and I didn't want to do like my friends them did. I ain't mess around their wife. I wasn't no good. I just looked at, I didn't want to do that.
That's right.
I felt like it was something that more serious than
That's
that.
right.
I ain't come to church to set to play church. I don't want to do that.
That's right.
I want to get it right.
That's right.
I did. I just looked at, I ain't looked at people, oh, nigga, you in the church. I want to be, I ain't had nothing to say about it.
That's right.
No comment. That was something you wanted to do. That was you. I wasn't getting involved with that because that was something, that's where you transitioned. That's what you were trying to do. And when my time came, I couldn't worry about nobody else.
That's right. That's right.
I had to worry about for self. Listen, if people be honest with themselves and really examine themselves, you'll see you haven't been truthful with yourself. That's the first thing you'll find, people truthful with yourself. You haven't been truthful with yourself. Really about what you want to do, why you want to do it, what's the real benefit of it. That world got a lot to offer out there. Don't let nobody tell you, no, that's a lot out there on the table. There's a lot of opportunities, a lot of things you do. The only thing about it is just how long can you do it? The only problem is the world will keep spinning and you're gonna leave it. It'd be different if the stuff you had stopped and went with you. Your stuff go to somebody else and keep going. So when you look at the benefits of everything the world got to offer you, really nothing. Because at the end of it, I mean, I need something that works for me not only here, I need something that transitions for me when I leave him. I don't need something to say, live and get all you can get now, but when you die, it's on you. Don't stick me out like that. I need to know we riding this thing all the way through. I need to know this is not the end for me. Because otherwise, I'm lost. I've been with you. Life ain't worth living. All you're going to do is live and just die. I don't care what you get. What did you come? You just go to the grave and just die. That's just it? That's it, nothing. So what did you do? Well, at least I can say I did something like, who you gonna say that to? You see what I'm saying? Where the lady people? I don't believe it now. Think of your logic. So who you gonna tell it to? Right. Yeah, when I be down in the grave, I'm gonna be just spinning the reel back, going back over my life about how stupid you are. That you were stupid enough to think that was the end of it? It gotta be a purpose. You know the only reason you're getting up? It makes sense. You plant a seed, don't it? Where does the seed go? The ground. You ain't gonna believe where you bury people at. The ground. How you think we're gonna get up? See, everything he gave you is purpose enough. Can you literally see that? Yeah. There is a seed living or dead. And you telling me the dead seed go in the ground and get up alive. Yeah, I don't believe in dying and getting back up. Only with seed. Don't even make sense for you to plant that. If I catch a flower, I'm gonna throw it away. You too stupid to have one. Say, where did the plant come from? Pike's Nursery, that's your first slap. Where did this come from? What you said, everything, how does it not make sense? That don't make sense. Some dead gonna get up and live. Where did you get that flower from? It came from a seed that was dead. In a packet, sealed up. It couldn't have been breathing, and it was dry. You ain't gonna believe it. You gotta plant a dry seed and put water on it. How that make sense? Why couldn't you have it in water if I put it in the ground? Only Yahuah can set an operation up like that. Only Yahuah can take a dry dead seed, put it in the ground and say water it and let it come back up. He know I needed to see that in order for me to have confidence in him. If I can't see him, I at least need to be able to see your attributes. It doesn't make sense. Let me tell you what I say as a Christian. For me, a lot of things didn't make sense to believe in him when you look at it now because I didn't know enough. But it worked to get me to that point to learn.
Right.
There were more than I could obtain because I need to be at a certain level to understand.
Right.
It don't make, think about it. It don't make sense. Die and get up and live again. But you plant seeds all the time. How doesn't it make sense? And people get seeds, and guess what happens? People don't get seeds and seeds die right then they plant them. People let them sit and keep them for a while.
That's right.
So why do you know, man, he been dead too long. If people get seeds, might keep them for a year or two.
That's
and
true.
come back and plant them. So the man can't keep me?
Yeah.
He can't preserve me? See, all the stuff that people wrestle with, they don't want to look at. He gave you everything. That's why it makes sense when Yashayahu tried to. Doesn't nature teach you? Nature show us a whole lot of things that make sense. A natural course of a thing makes sense to everything that he said he'll do for us. But a lot of things we have to do, you have to get away from certain people. You got to get away from certain behaviors. You got to get away from certain other thought processing so you can actually see him for what he is. Just like Yashayahu told her, he didn't see Yahuah until Yahuah had died. Yahuah died. He said, I didn't see him till he died. You ain't gonna believe it. There's some stuff had to die in your life for you to see him.
Yeah.
That's how I got to the appearance of him. If my life had gone the other way, I wouldn't have seen him. My life was too compiled with too much stuff. I was too trapped in. There's no way to see him with all that stuff. I had too many other outer influences. I had too many other avenues to things. Those things had to die. I had to get them out in order for me to be able to see him. Same thing got to happen for you. It's a process. It's a growth. It's over time. People want to see, know everything. I don't know the book of Revelation. I'm going to give you Revelation right now. You didn't even know I was going to slap you, did you? See? Revelation. Because people try to get to something, run to something first, getting an understanding, creating a relationship, and looking at you're following a pattern that's already been said. We ain't creating a new way. We just following the way that's already been established. He's trying to show it don't make sense to give a new way. I saved them by this way. Why am I giving you a new way?
Right.
I'm saving people. I'm trying to show I'm consistent. It don't make sense to tell you I'm the same yesterday, today, evermore when I'm doing something different. Khan ain't new. He gave favor to people before. That's okay. You take a seed and put it in the ground, plant it. When you pull that dirt back over there, how many of y'all make sure ain't no rocks in that dirt? Couple of people. Some folk put them and rocks can be in the way.
Yeah.
But Yahuah can favor them. Sometimes that seed can come and push, and that little rock can break and move to the side, and it can still come up. That's because he favored it. Some seed go in the ground, nothing on it. The soil is rich and it got rain. I don't like that seed.
Yeah.
And I ain't gonna let it come up. You know what he just say? Man, I gotta do it. You didn't get to do it. He favored it. You pushing your way from under the ground. You think that's all you? Who just get dirt and just do this? This is how you put dirt. What you pretty much do? Pack dirt?
Yeah.
Do something, you don't pack dirt? The dirt, right, you don't just do this number here and go, do you? You pretty much, you're gonna press that dirt down with that opposition. Now that seed got to fight through opposition. Might not be big, might be pebble. There's a lot of things you got to get through in order to make your way to get through. That's because he favored it. That's life. That's how you making it now. He just favored you. And as soon as you come in that knowledge and you consider that, the better off you're going to be and realize you're doing nothing to yourself. This man just favoring you. And when you get that man to a level he done had enough, he cut that favor off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm supposed to say? You don't use your last favor. You got to start considering that. Every one of us, you got to start really considering. You don't have a partner. When you land on that bed, you're sleeping. Ain't but one man favor to get you up. A lot of folks that lay in that bed, they don't woke up. They was on a coma and still in it. There's a lot of stuff you ain't in control of. Think about it, you sleep. I had a good dream the other night. Listen to him. Boy, I was some kind of scared. Oh my goodness. I went to the bathroom, it was so clear, and I pissed, and it went all in the back of the toilet, shot back on my leg. It was seemed so real. I said, oh my goodness. I said, I'm pissed all in and got all on my leg, pissed everywhere. I woke, I was in the bed. I said, don't move. I did. I ain't move. I said, just be still for me. Make sure it ain't cool. Because I ain't need no sudden movement. I said, be still, cause that might not have been a dream. I woke up. I said, check. Get it. You try to act like you check. You do that real car. Thank you. I told I said, I do.
That's right.
I did. I said, woo.
That's right.
I said, boy, I'm too old to piss like that. That was a good piss. Until I had a dream, and I felt good about that dream. And that one of them dreams, well, this could be bad.
Yeah.
But little stuff like that, and it don't mean nothing to some of y'all, because some of y'all regular pistol. But for those of us, who's holding out, stuff like that, yeah, some of y'all talking about, that's normal. No, that's not normal. Not at this age. So you just started to look at, though, one man favor you. Well, think about this. You think you sleep, how you holding your pee?
Yeah.
You ain't even conscious. What else you can do while you sleep? I mean, it's something simple. Think about it. You asleep. How you keeping yourself talking? Man, I don't pay nobody. You really control that? One man keep everything. That's a simple thing. And one man wake you up. And then one man keep you sleep too.
That's right.
And one man wake you up. You got to consider, this man do all, when he told you, I'm Yahuah, I do all these things. If something happened to you and it's Rosha, it's bad. Yahuah said, I did that. You said, man, something happened, it was tragic happened. The devil did. He said, I don't know where you got that from. He said, I do it. He said, I do everything. And we need to know that. So I know a man that gives me con, he can also give me his indignation, his wrath. So I know how to treat a man like that. Now look at this man, and all his wrath can destroy everything, but there's a heart, he can give you everything. So how you serve a man like that? You play with him, you take chances with him. You say, oh, I ain't worried about you anyway. You ain't nobody. We don't do what he tell us. Right. That's what he gets more of my respect from, the fact that you can do all this, and instead you see fit to spare me. That scare me. That scare me. Listen, I took that gun, I put it in my hair, I was gonna blow my brains out. That's how sick I was myself. I took it. I was gonna blow my brains out. He ain't let me do it. He needed me to see, so you sick of you. Where you think I'm at? Anyway, y'all ain't gotta raise your hand. Don't. I don't want to try to worry. Have any of y'all ever done it? You know what it's like. I'm talking about death. That's where I was. I wasn't broke. I wasn't womanless. I wasn't homeless. I wasn't carless. I was so sick of myself lying to this man. I was so sick of my life. I was so disgusted with everything I did. I just wanted to die. I just wanted to pull the trigger. I just want to be done. I just want to be done. He didn't let me pull it. I just didn't let me pull it. And that's why I'm here now. He said, I didn't give myself a chance. He had to do it. What do you do? He let me burn up all my chances. He said, this is where you at. You want to kill yourself. I give you a chance. That's why I'm here. Whole mess what I'm trying to tell y'all. Give a man a fair chance. Give him a fair chance, see if he can do what he do. But I know it's going to take you to exhaust everything you got, burn every end you got, every count. Burn, like I said, burn at both ends. He might not give you that chance. Some of y'all got to go out here and live that life and see for yourself if it's everything you thinking. It's not. You'll enjoy it for a while. It'll get old. Trust nobody. If you're going to do it, I'm going to give you this advice. Trust nobody. Absolutely nobody. You turned your back on Yahuah. What kind of friends you think you actually going to get? You stop loving the only man that will ever love you. What kind of love you think you're going to get out there? It'll never equal out. All you're going to do at that point, you're going to keep going forward, just like you're going to do, and they're going to come to your demise. He's going to let you run yourself all the way till you run yourself in the grave, just so you'll acknowledge. Somebody else will see your fall, and they'll recover. That's why we here. Somebody else's fault is why we here. The first people he had, he could have kept them, but they failed. They gave us an opportunity. And I ain't getting up my seat for nobody. I ain't getting up mine. That they stupidity. One of them would come at me telling me, man, I gave my seat. Say, that's your stupid seat. You better get away from around. I know that much. Then I ain't getting up my seat. You failed and gave up your, that's you. I ain't getting up mine for nobody. That's it. Somebody doesn't give up their seat. I'm good with mine. Y'all hear me? I wish a mother would try to take my seat. Part 2 of my killing spree will start right in here. Ain't that right? It's gonna be some ripple. That go for the rest of y'all farm niggas around here either. Ain't that right? Trying to take my seat. That's it. That's like that cornbread. It's serious, man. I know. I'm trying to tell you, he grant y'all this. You want to hold on to it. I ain't gonna lie to you. Listen, I know. And you should be mad, be angry with yourself for your mistake, and then consider what was you gonna do? What was you gonna do? That's how we gonna see him. If I make all the right decisions, I got all the answers, I don't make no mistake, how am I gonna see him? What do I need him for? He needed me to see, I need Tony, listen for me. He needed me to see, I need you to make all your decisions, pick all your friends, you do everything you think makes sense. And when all that stuff crashed down on me, all I could do was get a gun. These your friends. Those were my friends. Those were those were my decisions. And I sat there and that was my gun, not his gun. And I put it to my head to blow my brains out. And he saw fit to stop it. Now, there's some other people, listen, no doubt their gun went off before they finger even touched it. He said, I wouldn't even wait long enough to let you pull that trigger. Now, when the evidence showed they sold it with their gun, when they got there in the gun and the person shot, it's evident that they killed themselves. But Yahuah said, if it be Rosh in the city, he said, I did it. I pulled that trigger. That's why you appreciate him. Because you look at all your decisions, all your wit, all your cunning, it landed you right here. How smart are you? I look at the end of it. I had a lot of stuff. I ain't gonna tell you, I had a lot of stuff. I have done a lot of stuff. And I was finna blow my brains out with my stuff. Ain't worth it. That's why at the end of the day, I got a shalom with him. I have a shalom with him because I know where my mindset at. I know where I used to be. I don't ever forget. I never forget where I used to be. I never forget where I used to be. I won't forget it. I can't forget it. I'm only here because of Khan. Y'all got it. As soon as you realize that, the better everybody else gonna be. But you're gonna have to acknowledge your ways. You have to acknowledge your ways. That's the only way you're gonna make it. That's what he's gonna got. He's establishing himself a people, an arm, a GUI, a nation, a people that come into the knowledge of who they are by knowing who he is. Comparing myself to him, no comparison. My knowledge to his knowledge, none. That's why it makes sense. I need to be taught of him. I never knew about Khan. I never knew it. I heard people say, by grace are we saved. I didn't know what they were talking about. How many of y'all heard them say, by grace are we saved? How many of y'all understood that? People just tell lies. I don't know. Did you understand? I heard it, but I really didn't understand what, by grace. I don't know. Did you understand by grace? You know what I'm saying? Now, ain't it scary? Yeah. How do we not understand that? And it said, by grace are you saved, and not of yourself. It's the gift of Elohim. I'm reading it, but I'm saying, I don't understand it, but you don't know you don't understand it. That's the scary part, that he lets you read something and not understand it. I'm gonna finish up here. 29:10. Yashayahu. I try to get rid of y'all. Get ready to get your money up. We've been long enough. These folks be blamed, talking about being here at 12 o'clock. Well, they gotta pay for that. No, they just. I don't know. I mean, did you get hit? I don't know. Somebody, who that was? Who that was? So like another man said, I don't know what I said. I don't know who I said it to. I'm sorry. Not you, Uncle Ted, talking about somebody else. But somebody, who that was talking about? Yeah, we be got at 12 o'clock on Friday. Now, who that was? Hey, that was, hold on for a minute. That was your day. Hold on for a day with that though. It was just hypocrite. You was you.
Collaboration with all of us in that room.
Listen, Day. Hold on.
There you go.
Hold on. I'm getting on Jaheed. Hold on. I'm getting on
There you
Jaheed.
go.
What you said, Jaheed? Say what they can hear.
It was a collaboration between all of us in the room watching live.
Who I was in the room?
He did, Austin, did.
Kale.
No, all right, AJ.
And are you serious? What about Brittany? I had to joke it up. Woo. Y'all don't know. Y'all don't know what we had to go through with this, man. I had him and Malcolm share the room, and I said, Malcolm, what you think about Jaheed since you stayed in the room when you had time? Man, he looked at it, he was thinking. He said, well, what you think about Dexter? Because he was taking pictures of you while you was asleep, sending them out. I said, are you serious? Dexter sitting there like, he's talking about, he said, I said, you did? He said, Malcolm already know he was taking pictures. I said, Malcolm, you know that? He said, no, sir, I'm just hearing it now. This man has no, all right, don't commit no. I said, Jaheed, I'm gonna go rob a bank with you, Jaheed. Who knows how to do after that? I'm gonna get that Mexican guy who did like this with me. Y'all all right, getting some hot tamales. All right, listen, 29:10?
Yes, sir.
All right, listen.
For Yahuah has poured over you a ruach of deep sleep.
Uh-oh.
He has shut your the Nabaim, and he have covered your heads, the seers.
Y'all see that? Who that? All right, hands. Who we talking about? Who? That's how you raise your hand for real.
Yeah, I'm going to do it because I didn't know. I don't get it. I think
Oh. What you gonna say, Ian? What you gonna say? Joker, you raise your hand, Joker. What you gonna say?
The name when you couldn't see his son.
Mm-hmm.
I think about it, so about
Micaiah?
Makai.
So Micaiah. Hold on. What you got? That's all I'm thinking. Yahushua, they blindfolded him. I don't know what he was thinking. He said, his dad. I was like, y'all all over the place. I don't know where y'all went to. Yeah. They covered his eye. They asked him to tell him who did hit him. So you had to pay attention. He's in and out. They covered his eyes. Listen.
The entire Kazun shall be to you like the Dabarim of a sealed scroll.
So now he's letting people know that's how it's going to be to you. Y'all can remember that? The whole writing, he said all these words going to be to you as when you go to read it. You don't know what it's saying. See, that's something you need to think. Listen, he's telling, Yashayahu telling us that.
Mm-hmm.
He said, when you go and you get your people to teach you to try to tell it to you, they're not going to be able to do it. He said the entire Kazum, the entire vision is going to be, when they look at it, it's going to be like a man putting a blindfold over his head and he ain't got no eyes. What can he tell you? I see blue. I see two doors. You have a covering over your head and you blind. What can you see? Guess what he told her? He said, this is going to be your teachers. When they sat down and try to explain to you what's going on with the word, they're not going to be able to see it. Listen.
Which they give it to one knowing scrolls, saying.
Now, he said, now they get to somebody who knows scrolls. What happened?
Please read this.
And what happened?
He shall say, I cannot, for it is sealed.
Can you imagine that? He said the man gonna have the knowledge and he gonna be known for it. He said, but when you give it to him, it's gonna be like he got a covering over his head and he can't see. He can't even tell it to you. You know, so you know what? Funny thing is, it's like it's wrapped up in an enigma or something. In an enigma. Impossible to even know what it is. Listen.
Then the scroll shall be given to one who does not know scrolls, saying, please read this.
And what are you going to tell him?
And he shall say, I do not know scrolls.
Tell him why, son.
Then my Adon said, because this arm draw near with their paw.
See that? He said, that's why. He said, because these people only come to me with their mouth. They give me lip service. That's why he said he's going to do it to you. What else?
And honor me with their lips.
See
with
that?
Their lob.
That's how they give me my kabul. They give my honor with their lips. And what happened?
But their lob is far from me.
See how that? He said, look at the distance of their hearts. What they care for. That all going to tell again on what you're keeping. Listen.
And their yara of me is taught by the command of men.
That's what we want to make sure we work on. He said, because these people don't fear me. The fear they got from me, they got it from men. That they feel like it's okay to transgress me and go against me. Some man had gave them this league and made an agreement with them that you can just transgress them and you'll be all right. He said, that's why when they get it and they try to look into it, I'm going to make sure they don't get nothing. It don't matter which way they go, they always going to be entangled. That's why I can't afford to play with a man like this. He's only allowing me to see it. He said, listen, I can let you learn scrolls. And I'll still, when you go to look at it, it'll be just like you have no eyes in your head covered. That's a double blinding. When a man can't see, why you got to cover his head with a blindfold? He said, that's called adding insult to injury. He already blind, animal covered his head, and you gave it to him. What was he going to tell you? This is why you have to consider, every one of us, stuff that y'all take lightly. There's a lot of people sitting around, they get through the ring, they butt naked somewhere, having sex. Some woman married to 5, 10 women married to one sorry guy won't work and having baby by him, and they going to work and keep it. He don't even keep the kid. They got to carry the kid. For some reason, it look right. And they read it in the book. Yahuah ain't designed to make her look like no fool. This is about intelligence. That's why he want to let them know. He said, all of your benin, they're going to be taught of me. That's why I make sure we're being taught of it. And that's on the courtesy of Mr. Yahuah. Sitting down, looking at our ways, men in our way, making sure the young people get an understanding why they're young. That's why we put the training to them. So when they're old, they won't depart from it. We got to give it to them. I know they want the street. You want to play, you want to go play. You're right. Your playing going to end, though.
That's right.
You know, there's a lot of guys, they try to keep playing. It's going to look bad when you old trying to play with some young people. They out there. That street going to leave you. The street will keep moving. But those that ain't been out there, you can't hang with them streets. The street, Uncle Ted, could you keep up with them streets? Who you know keep up? If you went out there right now back to the street, what you used to do, I'm telling you were younger. Give me some ideas. When you were young, what could you do when you was in the street?
What could I do in the street?
Yes, sir.
So many things.
Drink, shoot, cut, sell dope, run, hug. You can go do that now? Why not?
You brought me in.
And then time catch up with, ain't it? That you get out there. You ain't fast as you to be then. You don't think fat these young folk now. A lot of guys here, these folk don't realize you got here play that game in the street. You start getting older and another generation come. And they ain't got the same code of ethics. You can't keep up with these folks. Don't let anybody make no fool out you. That street right there, it's still doing the same thing. And every time another generation get it get rougher. Because you know these guys come in, everybody trying to be better than the generation before. And the only way to be better, they looking at you got to do something stupid. They ain't bad, it's stupid. They don't even make common sense. Jump out and just shoot up apartment building. Like you can't hit no baby and kill nobody. Nobody did no stupid stuff. Why would you be shooting an apartment building and nobody did that to you? Because they got to prove that they bad. That's how stupid your mind is. But Yahuah give you that mind. And for those of you to be out there, you know you look at, that could have been my mind. Ain't that right? You start looking at every generation, the generation before me, look at us and look at, boy, y'all surely are stupid. Now, I got to look at the one coming behind me and I said, y'all surely are stupid. And every generation get dumb and dumber. Because they keep trying to be bad. They keep trying to prove themselves. They keep trying to show they just as good. And look at it all the time. We had a singer back then. What gay singer you remember back then? Little Richard, about it. Who you remember back then was gay? Yeah. Little Richard was hot. Little Roger. That wasn't his time, though. No, Little Roger ain't even a performer. Who? No, we don't know about Prince. Repent. Come on. Repent. Man, you don't come out with no Apollon and no vanity talking about no gay. They brought two of the pretty women in the world out. That's how we know it's life on other planets. Because we never seen, we were like they was on life. We ain't never seen you before. You know, right? Hey, man, we ain't know no women like that overseas. We from Joe. We ain't seen no woman look like that. Right. Prince brought women out. We ain't know what women look like. Them was just girls. Ain't that right? Prince was serious out there. Prince said the straighted man with makeup, curly hair, ruffled shirt, and high heel shoes, and stood for the truth. Ain't that right? That's it. Stood for the truth. Listen, they interviewed two of his other two girls he had in their band. He fired them because they were gay. He told them. He told them they're gonna burn in hell. Yeah, I saw an interview with them. They interviewed them. They asked them about Prince being gay. They said Prince was very much a man. They said they were gay. Listen, I saw an interview with them. They were kissing. He fired both of them. He told Gary Hill, told them they were lesbian, and told them they're gonna burn in hell. Now I ain't gonna lie with you. I probably bust out laughing if I'd have seen it too. I mean, I mean, it's like, I'm with you, Prince, but I'm like, we got a problem. Yeah, I mean, but that was their testimony now. They said Prince told they're gonna burn in hell too. So they ain't got nothing on him for us to start looking up for stuff, bro. But I said, let me look at it now. I'm like I said, leave the man alone, man. I took enough of a beating. This man done took enough of a beating. Came on in the house. Ain't that right? Leave the man alone. But at the end of the day, we know what we got to do. We got to get right. We got to hold a standard. We got to hold to what the man said and trust him.
Yes, sir.
All reason not to trust him if you don't trust yourself. Put your confidence in him. The man do everything he said. I'm a witness. If he pulled a man like me out and gave a man like me a chance, anybody could do it. Anybody could do it. I ain't just taking that. I ain't nobody ain't did nothing to him. I done it. The man gave me a chance, a fair chance. He'll do the same thing for you. It don't matter. People won't do that for you. People gonna hold stuff over your head. People gonna hate you. People never gonna forgive you. People gonna look at you a certain. Listen, I'm fine with that. As long as I got favor from him.
Right.
It's supposed to be that way. You know why he let you do that? He gonna show you, I ain't like man. Man ain't supposed, why would people forgive me for everything? I did some stuff cruel to people. Everybody ain't supposed to forgive me. You know what? If everybody forgave me, I wouldn't be looking for his forgiveness. I'd be good with everybody. I'm good with everybody else. Come on. Why y'all think people did it? Because you good. Until you done cut yourself with people, and some people say, you know what, I'll never forgive you. I'll never look at you the same. You dead to me. And then you got that man here saying, I still love you. That's why I put my confidence in. I can't worry. Listen, I'll be the last person right around the world trying to make everybody forgive me. You can forget it. I wouldn't even put a drip of gas in my car for that stuff. That's something you got to deal with. I'm good in my relationship with him. Everybody else, you have to fix your own problem. Do not waste your time trying to prove out to everybody else. Do what he told me. Work out with fear. He told me to go get my car and drive nowhere, start sending no letters and buying no cars. I don't have that type of time. I just don't have, you can't, listen, do what you're supposed to do. We all got scarred. We all have done wrong, and we all got to be right when we get back in. Y'all got it? Let's do it. Yeah. Appreciate it. You feel nice. Appreciate y'all. Has anybody been messing with you? Come on.